Well. Here we are, friends. Here we are. Look at that enthusiasm. Look at
Mhm.
that, guys.
Hey
Welcome
guys.
to the first episode of the new year of the DC Infinite Hour. As always, we have Brad, the DC Universe geek. Looking good, buddy. I like the stubble. I like the hair growth coming in there. I like the hat. I like
See,
what's happening over here,
you
dude.
see, okay, well, first of all,
Oh, shit.
you just dyed it bright red. And like I'm going for the whole sideburns that connect to your mustache. And
Yes. Well,
because
all
I'm
right, here we go, guys. Here it is. That looks like Amber. You look like Amber Heard in
That's what
that's
I
what
Aquaman.
my
was
wife
thinking.
said. That's what my wife said. That's the same color as Amber's hair. I was like, was not. Yeah, okay, it was.
Hey, man, nothing wrong with that. You're in good company. You're in
Yeah.
Yep.
great company. And of course, Rob D Toys, the best-looking action figure photographer, handsome Rob. Look at this guy in the black. Perfect lighting. Just a beautiful face there. Look, wearing his Hershey sweater. You know.
The most well arranged, least schlubbiest looking of the three of us.
Yeah, for
Ah,
sure. I feel, oh, you know, the best lit. You know.
that's true.
Guys, here we are. How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing well.
Yeah,
I'm good. I had steak and chicken for dinner. So
Oh
Ooh.
shit!
how can you have a bad night when you have both of those?
I think you're doing all right.
Yeah. You do
Josh
right.
from before asking, does the carpet match the curtains?
Mm.
Well, you have to pay for my OnlyFans to see it.
That's a
Oh,
good answer.
I wish I had a link. You know what I mean? To post a fake link. You know what I mean?
That'd be
Shout out to my
awesome.
boy Marlo the Collector, guys. A little bit about Marlo the Collector. He's one of my oldest friends actually, and he was the inker for Teen Titans, the Jeff Johns run back in the
Mm.
day.
Oh,
Has done a
cool.
lot of inking. He
Oh,
used to work for Image Comics as an inker. I used to go over
wow.
there like in high school, and he would be inking like comic books,
That's
and
awesome.
That's fantastic.
amazing guy. So shout out to Marlo the Collector. Everyone in the chat, hello. I see we have some good people out there. We got Darth, we got Josh from before, Merrick, Whacker the Macker or Maker. I always say that wrong. But we got SB Toys. Got some good people in the chat, guys. Got some good people in the chat.
There's
So
some
that's
good ass people in the chat.
now we got a well, we know the main topic of the show tonight,
Yeah,
guys.
no hiding that one.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. I guess we should talk about it.
It's
Just go
got to
right.
be talked about.
It's
No,
got to be addressed. You know.
yeah. So we should probably start with it and piss everyone off right away with our own or with our opinions, and then move on from that. Right?
You know
Simmer
what?
down. Talk about some other stuff. But let's
You should. You
tackle
don't
that
face your
big.
problems. You go right through them. So
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
just
No,
do
Daddy, no.
it. That's
I
funny,
don't
Rob.
want
Look
to.
at you. Show us on the action figure where you were hurt. Sorry, guys.
Right
Oh,
here
gosh.
in the brain.
Right, yeah, that dude right there. I feel like we planned that. So let me go ahead. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about the pricing crisis on Infinite
Yeah.
Earths. So
Crisis.
it was the new year. Everyone's feeling good. Maybe I don't know. And everyone went on the McFarlane site or they saw their Instagram. Oh, cool! A new wave's up for pre-order.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then some of us, without even looking at the price, just saw the bundle price. That looks about right. Click, and which was what I did. But unfortunately, there was a little bit of a change with this set. Brad, I feel like you could probably articulate this a little bit better. I feel like you're ready to talk about this. Do
Sure.
you want to lead off, or do we want to save your comments for?
No, I mean whatever you want me to do. You are the fearless leader of this podcast.
I
So
know
you
it's
request
tough.
and I shall follow.
Okay, let's start. Let's start with this. Before the context was given about why these were $39.99.
Yeah.
What was your initial emotional reaction to seeing that price for these figures?
Gordon Bennett, those are expensive.
Okay.
That was my thought. But I want to make sure that I preface everything I'm going to say with, as a Canadian, I always have to pay a lot of money for my McFarlane figures. Like when I go to GameStop, those figures are regularly anywhere from 28 to 30 something, like $36 anyway. they're already not cheap for me.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like whatever folks in the States are going to be paying for the figures, you know, at least just for this wave, like that's what I pay for almost everything.
Yeah.
Right. And especially when, you know, well, I won't break everything up because I want to make sure we cover everything in
Yeah.
proper order, I guess. But so yeah, my first response was like, you know, that's expensive. But whenever I tack the shipping on to anything I buy from McFarlane, it's always super expensive. My shipping sometimes is like $50 to $80.
Ugh.
Right.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so it's a little bit of extra
Mhm.
money. That's just the cost of doing business, I guess, for me. I didn't really think about it much beyond that. It wasn't until all the hoopla started that I went and took a deeper dive and was like, wait a minute. And it's actually you guys in the chat that made me take a second look at it.
Yeah. Rob, what was your visceral reaction? Your first your initial reaction when you found out about the pricing?
Well, before that, like I went to lunch, and normally, like if
What you have for lunch? I gotta ask. You
I
know,
had
for
a
me.
cheeseburger, a bacon cheeseburger. It was
Okay.
Right.
fantastic.
Clog them
From
arteries.
Hardee's,
boat too.
Carl's Jr., McDonald's. What are we talking about?
No, it was some like new local shop.
Okay, all right.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
Do you have a
Yeah.
picture of it? I'm just kidding. Go
No,
ahead.
I
I'm sorry.
don't. Sorry.
He wants to go and drool over it in the bathroom after the podcast.
But like normally, like if I know like a pre-order is gonna drop, like that they announced, I'm like there waiting. I obviously didn't know that this was even gonna drop or what
No.
it was. So like I was at lunch. I was probably like an hour into, like it was like almost 1 o'clock. I get back at my work and I see Brad's message. Hey, these are up on McFarlane's site. And I'm like, oh crap. Like, I don't know if they're going to sell out type thing. So I jump on, pre-order, hits buy. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I got them. And then I look at the price and I'm like, wait a minute. This is not right. I'm like, $40. What the hell? Like, holy crap, man. And then I'm like, well, I wanted them. I guess I'm going to have to bite the bullet because maybe this is like a wrong price that they did something. And then I saw like how the internet was ablaze after that when I went searching if this was the right price. And then, I was like, you know what? It sucks, but this is what we have to do, I guess, if we want these figures.
It was worse than when they changed the scale. Because remember, like the old DC Multiverse was 6. And then Todd was like, we're going to do 7 because we want the bigger pieces of plastic on the shelf. And we want to do our own thing. And I remember a lot of people were very, very upset about that. And I haven't seen like a McFarlane. I suppose when he was like female characters don't sell as well. That was also a thing.
Yeah.
Right? But he just hadn't made the right ones at that point. I mean, I think he's since been proven wrong about that. You just got to pick the right ones. Right. But yeah, so I took notice. You guys brought it to my attention. Then I was like, oh my God, I hit the internet and I was like, it's everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, like Superman being a new sculpt, and I know we're going to get into this stuff. Like it was a must have for me. And I knew that I wanted Monitor more than anything. Just because like we all grew up with these stories, right?
Yep.
So this hit home for us. So I was like, I want it. Yeah, it sucks. And I hope this doesn't happen. Wait, I got to find out why this is happening. But I really want these figures more than anything. So I sucked it up and just, I didn't really go on a spree of rampage.
Yeah, I think for the most part, like usually, as far as the rage, I think it was 100% justified initially. Even now, listen, it's still $40. I mean, we'll get into the context later.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think just all of us as a society, a little bit, like you can't even buy a freaking McDonald's meal for less than like $18 anymore, right?
I think. Sorry, I didn't.
No, I was gonna say like this is sort of the last thing. I mean, we all love collecting, obviously, and it was pretty reasonable up until we saw this price. I think it was just a perfect storm of like people are pissed off about prices increasing in general. Oh shit, is this the new normal, right?
Right.
I think that was the biggest thing.
Yeah, everyone was afraid that it was going to be the new normal. I think for us, even like Ahsoka and I, once you start buying Hot Toys, like
which I don't.
the prices like seem less like even like masterpiece Transformers is like up there. So like I'm accustomed to like the higher price, and I know not everybody is, but
Yeah.
like if you're willing to go that far, then this doesn't seem as a harder pill to swallow, at least from my perspective. I know everybody's is different. This is just my perspective.
I feel like I didn't get upset about it after when I found out, because like I've got a different perspective, right? Like for one, in Canada, I mean, it's just always been more money for me here. So there's that. And then number two is I look at it like in a global scale. Like I look at it like, okay, so we have these bits of plastic that are shaped like people, and yeah, the price went up. And okay, hold that thought. I got to hold that thought. Hopefully the ADDs doesn't steal it out of my head. Before that, I knew there was going to be a price increase. That was my first initial thought. Once I started seeing all the fire, I was like, well, I knew there was going to be one because Todd said there was going to be. That he's like, well, when he was asked, are you going to increase the price of your figures like Marvel Legends, and Black Series and stuff like that? And he said, well, yeah, inevitably we're going to have to, but why do we got to be the first ones to do it? And so he actually held the prices down longer than he probably should have. And I know people would disagree with that, but the cost of the actual raw materials all across the board has gone up. The cost of plastic, and actually a lot of the toy industry right now is in a panic because they're like, we need to figure out a cheaper option. And so now a lot of the manufacturing is going to India. That's a fact. That's what's happening. So I'm sure that is playing a part in it. And then just the cost of everything around the world going up, not just the stuff that has to do with toys. And that's, there's various reasons for that as well. So that was number one. I thought, okay, I'm not super surprised this is happening, right? And this is before the news came out about the length of the price increase. I'm not sure if we've covered that yet. So then the second thought that I just put a pin in is that I look at it like we are so insulated in this country having cheap goods because we built it off the backs of people in China that make next to nothing. So I just never felt bad. I was like, I would like to know that the money is going to the workers, which obviously it's not. It's definitely not. They're not getting raises because the prices went up. I'm not stupid. I know that. But I just feel like we're getting a small inkling of a taste of how much things would actually cost if they were made in our own countries.
That's a good perspective, dude.
And that's the cold, hard reality of it. Like we can, if we want our goods over the years with inflation to stay nice and cheap, then someone has to make those. And those are human beings. I mean, human beings are far more important than our collections.
When we were kids, like an action figure, granted, it was like 4 inches or 5 inches, like say a Ninja Turtle or something, was like $4.99, $3.99.
Yeah, and less POA.
Compared to now, which is like $20, $25. I mean, I remember like you could get a
$35 for me.
You could get a Batmobile for like $20 easy. And now, like, it's like 100 something.
Yeah, and those were never my prices. Those were like the prices that you guys had. I never had those. It's just like Australia. Australia has never had your prices because I know people that live there. They've always had to pay more money than I do, actually, in general, for a lot of their figures. So I feel like America just had it really good, really insulated with all that cheap, almost slave labor making all of our cheap goods. And I think we're getting a taste of it. There's a shakeup in the market and in the manufacturing, and we're all feeling it. At least that was my initial thoughts. I mean, there's more information now that has came out, but so I didn't get upset about it. I don't know. I mean, if it ever becomes too expensive for me, I just won't collect. I'll just stop. But I'm not going to get upset and get angry because a lot of people thought he was price gouging. They thought, oh, he was painted as someone who was price gouging. Like, oh, he's just taking advantage of us. I'm like, nah, no. I don't think that's the case. Everything we've learned about Todd since the very beginning shows that is not what he's like. He is not a nasty gouger. He tries to bring things to the people very quick. And I'm not going to, you see a lot of people that like used to call him the Todd father, then just totally drag him through the mud. And it's like, man, that's just, I don't know. Yeah, I can't relate to that.
No, and I think Josh, like even pointed out, the communication obviously was the biggest issue
Yeah.
with this whole
Yeah,
debacle.
I totally
Yes.
agree. Like they should have like
Yes.
if they knew like this was gonna obviously they did be a higher price point, there should have been someone or some communication that said, "Hey
Absolutely.
guys, this is a
Yep.
lower price run,
Yep.
and it's only for this wave, so
A higher
please don't
price run
freak
and a
out."
lower piece run. He
Yeah,
said lower
and
price run.
because like for what people don't understand is that like the smaller the runs are, the more expensive everything is. Just
Yeah.
like when you buy like one
Yep.
shirt versus like 200 shirts for like a
Yep.
company.
It's a minimum
That's
purchase order,
yeah,
basically.
same with like Super 7. That's
Yep.
why their
Yep.
prices are so expensive
Yep.
is because like with Super 7 it's made to order, so
Yep.
they don't make a lot, and then that's why,
Yep.
you know, yes, you are getting more accessories.
Yep.
And that's I think that is the hurt that everyone is feeling because
Yeah.
it's the same as a Build-A-Figure of the $24, but it's just a higher price point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Which
the smaller
sucks.
run warrants, you know, it's less quantity, so it's more
Yeah.
expensive.
Well,
I know
let's-
it does. It's weird, but that's
Well,
just how the industry works.
getting to the context a little bit, we actually do have an official statement
Yeah.
from McFarlane, which I'll show.
We have heard your feedback regarding the recent gold label Build-A-Wave, and we want to clarify that the prices are the most released for the most releases in 2024 will not change at this time. Crisis on Infinite Earths was created as an exclusive and will be exclusively especially low run.
Yeah.
Sorry, I butchered that, but you know what I mean.
Horrible, Rob. Horrible. I
Sorry.
thought you've been practicing in front of a mirror, bro.
You need to go to the school that can't read
Sorry.
good.
Yeah, that's it. No, but
Okay, now Brad,
and
you read it. Let's see how you do. I was kidding.
and like other people were saying that like I think Choices and even D Hunter was talking about this, is that there's supposedly like it could have been another run. They dropped out. They had to cover the cost. Yeah, it sucks that it's going on to the consumer, but you don't know how much they are actually like
paying,
eating the cost themselves.
Yeah,
they're just not flipping all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he was eating the cost. He said that he was eating the cost, especially for tooling. Not just like not on that. He didn't specify that, but in interviews, I've heard him talk about eating the cost when the prices went up.
Yeah,
he didn't, and it was actually costing him more. He's like, okay, so we do some more tooling, and we don't raise the prices, and we eat some of the cost ourselves for a while. Like he admitted that they couldn't do that forever, but so
yeah.
You know what really concerns
this would have
me-
been an inevitable conversation that was had at some point. We just it happened later than sooner.
I just think that the problem with most people's knee-jerk reaction is that it was like, and I don't want to put like, you know, words in people's mouths, but like it felt like I can't afford this, so instantly the figure sucks. Like they can't separate quality from price. And I know that's kind of weird to say, but like
I saw a little bit of that.
You see that from time to time, and it's like, no, like I personally think these figures are awesome. Superman has a new buck. And yes, it's the older
like
Superman, like the Earth 2 Superman, and not like the Superman that we all want. But obviously they're gonna use this buck for that
more.
But I also think the initial response was really, you know, this price increase before we knew what it was. It's really defied logic, right? You went from 22 for multiverse to 30 for collector edition. Now we're at 40, like and it was just such a weird price jump. Like
and it was fast.
It was fast. It was so fast, and like just out of the blue.
People are gonna feel weird about it. They're gonna feel like, of course, because for some people don't buy the entire wave. They buy one figure or two figures because that's all they can afford. Because let's face it, everything is really friggin' expensive, and people are working really hard and not making enough to make ends meet. That's a lot of people, and so for them, it's like I don't even want to buy the whole wave. I just want to cherry pick a few that I want. Being upset is understandable.
Yeah, right? I mean, like what Josh said,
human, but it's not good.
Is great. Like if you could afford this, great. Like definitely get it. It's a great wave. If you can't, we understand, and you know it's definitely pricing out of certain people's price. You know, like those who don't want or can't afford a Mafex,
Moo fix.
like, you know, they're not going to get this, and that's totally understandable. And I'm not going to like disqualify anybody or like, you know, make, you know what I mean. But like,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, it sucks that it's this price.
Yeah.
But at the end of the
It-
day, like, I don't know, like I
What's
just
really
moved
scary
on.
is like that. Okay, we don't know exactly what happened, right? We
Right.
don't.
We
But
don't.
they made these, and someone didn't want them.
Yeah.
Like, so that's pretty.
Well,
I mean, I
to
don't say it's scary. Like, who? Like, are we at that point where like even like Targets and WalMarts don't want like certain waves? Like this wave to me, it's a classic,
Yeah.
great wave,
yeah.
and that some retailer didn't want this. Like, is that
That-
showing how the numbers are with us?
I don't
That's
know.
hard. Yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't know. But do we know for sure?
We don't.
So it's an assumation at this point. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah,
Assumation.
yeah. You like that? Eh? I'm good at making up
Love it.
words.
Love it.
I'm gonna say, since we don't know, I'm just not gonna even go down that
Yeah.
road. I'm gonna think of it as they decided to make this limited wave so it would be special. Is my idea. And but something we haven't covered too, though, is okay. So Superman's all new tooled, right?
Yeah.
And then we've also got a whole new tooled anti-monitor. We have and then we've got who the hell was in the wave again? We got Superman,
Kid
got
Flash,
Psycho Pirate, Kid Flash,
Spectre.
the Spectre. That's right. So the Spectre's got quite a bit of news. So we have two brand new tool figures, and so that tooling is being spread out for five. The 5 figures is being spread out over 4, which is kind of a big deal. Like you could have put the monitor by himself, and he would be. Now, some people have argued that that would have been the better thing to do: make a 4-figure wave and then sell the monitor as, you know, a mega fig, which has been done in the past, right? So I mean, that's not like it's a bad argument.
Yeah,
we don't know the reasoning why they went that way, right? We can all admit that we don't really know why they went that way. I'm not even going to assume it's greed. I mean, if it was Mattel or Hasbro, sure, but companies like Super 7 and McFarlane Toys, I tend to assume that a lot less, and assume there's usually another reason on top of that. I mean, they want to make profit, but also the machine, they won't even fire that machine up unless is a certain purchase order, because they can make more money filling the plastic molds for things that sell like crazy, like plastic Solo cups, because they have to reset the machine for each thing. It's not like the machine stays set for Todd's figures,
right?
They have to put all the stuff in, and they gotta, so they're not even going to bother. Like, and it's plus the shipping cost overseas and the shipping cost on trucks for most things, how that works. It's worth more to these companies to have stuff that sells like crazy on the trucks than it is to have a niche collector item. And so the cost of plastic is going up too. So it's like this, right, downhill spiral.
I guess what question for you guys now? So obviously McFarlane
before you do that, can we just address what you just posted or put up in the thing? The reason we know that it's a new buck is because in the McFarlane post of it, Jason, who works at McFarlane, posted, "Isn't that a beautiful new buck?"
Yeah.
So that's how we know that it's a new buck.
Not only that,
a wired cape.
You can see that, and not only that, I take these figures apart every day, day and night. I work on figures all the time, and I can tell you that the legs, the boots, the trunks, the abs, the torso, the head, the neck piece, the art, like it's a new Superman, completely new.
Look at this guy, the artist Shark. He said Brad sang him happy birthday a year ago. He's asking for it tonight. Obviously, yes. We'll star this image and do that at the end. You know. What was I going to ask? Okay, so now we've gone through this. We know that limited runs can be made at a higher price point.
Yep.
To you guys and everyone in chat, if this was like a different wave, would you ever pay this again? Like if it was a very specific, hey, we can only make this if we put this online.
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Though.
Yeah.
Right there. I'll let you go first.
It would depend on the figures that they're putting out. Like, I love these figures, so that's why I'm willing to pay it. If it was just like, I don't know, if it was the Crime Syndicate, because I'm not a big Crime Syndicate fan, I would pass on it.
What if
just because like I don't buy and that goes into like the whole review thing, which I'd like to touch on too.
Yeah.
Is that like I'm a pretty positive guy. Ahsoka, we're all actually pretty positive, like
Very
Brad
positive.
included.
Look at
It's
Brad's
just,
hair, for God's sakes.
I mean, it's just how like our reviews, like in art school, right? I was always taught like constructive criticism. You give like what you like about something, then you give what could be better,
Yeah.
and then you follow it up with like, hey, overall, this is a
Yeah.
great thing. So
It's the
that's how
hamburger. The
yeah,
hamburger.
that's how I tackle all of my reviews, whether people like it or not. Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't have anything bad to say, and sometimes I do.
Well,
And it's just how like I structure my reviews, and like it's just it is what it is. Like if I don't like something, I just don't buy it. Now, if I get sent it to me to review, I will review it, and I will try to be positive. And guys, like there's nothing that I really got that I didn't like. I was even surprised with the He-Man Batman, like the fighting the Frozen. Like initially, like if you even go back and watch
one of his best
our
waves.
video,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care for this. Like I'm not buying this. It was sent to me. I ended up freaking loving it because there's such great sculpts. And in fact, that Batman was on my top 10 list. So, I can be wrong. But like overall, like, I try to find the good in everything. Now, granted, yes, I wish Wave Rider was like the classic Matthew Rider Wave Rider.
Yeah.
But I still love the character, and I love this rendition that hopefully we get a new one.
And that figure definitely turned out better than I thought it was going to in person.
In fact, the smiling Superman that is just arriving, like I'm gonna post pictures tomorrow. I freaking love the figure. I think it's awesome. Now, granted, I don't like the belt. I wish it was the classic belt.
Change the trunks, lad.
But the smiling face actually doesn't bother me one bit. Yeah, it's a little goofy, but it does look like Superman. He looks fun. He does look young, like Ahsoka said in his review. But yeah, I like the body mold. I think it's fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
So
it's fans were asking for that body mold.
Yeah.
In the classic colors. I remember very distinctly.
Oh yeah.
Fans asking for it. Now as for whether would I buy that another wave if it was that price again, I'm already like going broke buying these things as it is. Like just to make the channel happen, I spend my channel money, which is far less since I didn't upload for like 3 months really. So it's far less. I'll spend all my channel money on this stuff just so I can review it and make the videos because I just really like archiving and doing that thing. So but in general, it depends on the wave. Like if it's a wave of figures that I want all the characters, then I might. But if they were always that price, I would then start having to cherry pick. Like if the price went up to that, like for good, they would. I would have to pull back the amount that I buy. But that's just, it sucks, but that's life. I mean, I don't drive a Bentley. I don't live in a 7-bedroom mansion. I don't have a heated driveway as much as I would love one because we have winter here and it snows like a bitch sometimes. And I might not someday be able to afford all of the McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. And I know that sucks ass to even think of that, but I would have to cut down. So if it was a wave of Superman, Batman, and then 2 characters that I like but didn't absolutely love, I'd get the Superman and Batman. And then we'd end up proving them right. Superman and Batman sell and other characters don't. And then we know what happens. The line dies because in the end, my final thoughts really on this are the market is only going to pay for what it can afford. Like even if people go, frig, these are expensive and they pull the money out of this wave for their ass. And maybe they pull the money out of the next wave from their ass. But then eventually it's unsustainable and they have to stop. And then what happens? Then lines get discontinued. And so if the price is too high, but we cannot expect, I don't think that we can be like, well, it costs that much, so you can't charge that much. Get those prices down. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. In the sense that we don't work there. We don't see what they have to put into it. We don't see the PR. We don't see the artwork. We don't see the cost of tooling.
I do think that they listen to fans. Like obviously that's apparent with like the changes that have been made
a little bit.
you know, with the ankles.
They can't change
that.
overall price though, Rob.
Right,
You know
granted.
that.
Yeah. But they do listen to fans, and they do see that,
Of course.
you know, where, you know, there's give and take. Like, you know,
Yes.
I mean, yes, you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I just hope moving forward,
they do
like,
care.
obviously this is not, they're saying that this isn't going to be the norm. Totally fine. I just hope that it doesn't show up again for some reason. And if it does, they need to explain themselves. They need to have like a good PR person.
That is exactly it. Communication, Rob. You hit it on the head.
Well, Josh hit it on the head, but yeah.
Okay, so Josh, you hit it on the head. Someone hits someone on the head.
Yeah.
And I'm for it. Not hitting people on the head, but never mind.
And I think, like, going back, I saw in one of the comments, it says, Jay said, with all due respect, it's easy being positive when you get figures for free. Context matters. I disagree with that, just because if you looked at my reviews before I started getting figures for free, I was exactly the same. Like, I am just a positive person. I just feel that it's easier. Why bitch about something that you don't like? It's you can get great views. It's all over the internet, but that's not me. That's not how I was raised. If I don't have something good to say, I'm not going to say it.
I'm pretty positive in all
facets. That's just my personality.
My wife tells me I have terrible taste in movies because I like everything.
Exactly. I mean,
Batman like, oh, that wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Multiple people have told me that.
Superman is still my favorite movie, and apparently that's like one of the worst movies by most people. But other people love it. So
anyone that thinks that sorry, go on. You go on.
No, I was just saying, like, you know, you can't please everybody. Everybody's going to think either you're a shill or you make great content. So you just have to be true to yourself.
Yeah.
And that goes for anybody who's like a reviewer or wanting to be a reviewer.
Yeah.
Just
be yourself.
Find your voice.
On camera. Yeah.
And just go and don't care what anybody says.
I'll tag on one thing to Rob before you, Brad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like,
go ahead.
I would 100% not be making videos or creating content for things I didn't like.
Exactly.
Like, honestly, before they send us stuff because they know I'm going to make positive content about it because I love the stuff. Yeah. I mean, DC is my favorite brand. It's my favorite comic book company.
Yeah.
Like, I love it with passion. Yeah. And I generally,
me too.
I try to like it. I mean,
it's a huge part of our lives.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't become influencers like we worked hard at just, you know, dedicating our craft, and over time we built a following and then these companies over time found us. It's kind of like when a rock band, you know, they put in hours upon hours of building a community that follows them, and then these reps come out and discover them. It's basically the same thing.
And guys, it could all be gone in a moment. Like, as far as getting stuff for free, it is not something that, like, I mentioned this. I don't know if I'm in a post, but like Brad, Rob, and I have bought, I would say conservatively 90% of the stuff we've gotten for free. Like, I have another steel here that I bought just because this is not something where we have any sort of agreement that we're going to get free figures. You get it at whatever their pleasure is to send it.
And you don't always get everything.
Yeah. You know? Well, case in point, there's figures that you guys have gotten that I'm like, oh, I would really like that one to review.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. That one right there.
Yeah.
You guys both got it, and I wasn't lucky enough to get it. Like, it's not like we all get everything either.
And you are dressed like a young Tom Welling right now. From
he is.
With the hoodie and the shirt, eh? I'm not as attractive, but
the red. Hey, the red blue blur.
Yeah, he is. The blur. But even if it stopped, right, I would still keep doing what I'm doing.
Guys, I would love to be a paid shill. If they want us to pay me real money to shill, I would love that. So
that's different. You got bills to pay, but
you know what I'm saying?
I did this before, way back in the day. I recorded my videos in this room against that wall it was a whole different setup on a box, on a wooden crate. I recorded my videos with like the stupidest backdrop ever. And I just built myself up and got better and better at what I did. And I love doing what I do. So as for
I'm sorry, Brad. I wanted to answer this question.
Oh,
Brad, answer this question. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no expectation.
There's no contract.
Okay, nobody has ever sent anything to us and said, like, we've never signed anything saying you must review these figures you must mention this. I've done things where I've had to mention certain things, and in a certain amount of time. They just send us the box and say, "Have at her." That's it.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
if
Toy
any,
Shiz talks about what he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Josh has talked about what he doesn't like. I've written what I don't like.
I
You
mean,
know, we
Brad,
all
obviously.
right.
we
I mean,
all
and
have written like even if you read my Nightwing, I still post like what could be better about it. I'm
Yeah.
not harsh about it. I just say, hey, like this is what I like. This is what could be better.
Yes.
But
Yes.
overall, it's a fantastic figure.
Yeah.
That's just
Now,
it goes back to what I said. You know,
some people are dare I say, some people are just pissy. Like they're some people are like there's people who are like action figure snobs, like the people who I just don't want to run into in real life because they want to show you how smart they are about figures. And you know, I don't like to run into those people, and I'm not one of those people, so I'm not going to review my figures and get all upset. At the end of the day, as much as I like it, it's a two-legged, two-armed piece of plastic shaped like a character that I like, but it's not, you know, I got bigger things to worry about. I got 4 kids.
Yeah.
I got a marriage. I got all kinds of stuff. These are a fantastic hobby, and that is as far as it goes. I love this hobby, but it's a hobby. And so my way of reviewing them, if I am really annoyed about something, you'll know because it's broken in the video. And I'm like, But
like if you guys watch my Steel review, I spent a good 10 minutes talking about the blue swirl.
Oh yeah,
that I did not care for in that figure.
I didn't even know that was a thing until you brought it to my attention.
You know, but I mean, generally,
I mentioned it. Oh, hold on. I haven't mentioned the positivity. This is something
please
I haven't mentioned.
Go for it.
Okay,
please.
so as far as the positivity goes, I would challenge anybody who's watching this podcast or this stream, who watches my videos, to try to say that myself as a reviewer, I'm nothing but positive, because I make fun of all kinds of stuff. My way of dealing with things is either if I don't like it, I make fun of it, and that's how I deal with it. Or I say, oh, you know, that could be better or whatever. And that's because I do it that way because I also learned when I went to school, you can say what you liked about it and say what could be improved. Like
exactly.
I rarely say what's negative unless it's really needed, but it is negative. I'm saying I don't like it. I'm just not saying this is crap, because some people go from like, you know, oh, this figure here, it doesn't have double jointed elbows, so it's crap. It's garbage. It's like, it's not garbage. It doesn't have double jointed elbows, and that sucks. But what are the redeemable things as well about the product? And people are welcome to have their own views and how they decide they want to approach reviewing a figure or tearing apart analytically a figure. I'm not that guy. If I don't like it, I'll mention it. I don't say something positive about everything. Like what I mean is I say positive things about everything, but I'll also point out the negative, like the things that are not as good.
Yeah. Like what I want to point out is like people come to our channel expecting things, right? So you know that you're going to get the type of review that you're going to get, whether it's, you know, a figure of this or a figure of that.
Yeah.
People go to other channels because they know they're going to get that type of review.
Yeah.
So if you're just following us for the first time, that you might not know that, but obviously most people keep coming back to this channel and watching our live streams because they enjoy what we're saying about it. We're being positive. And I know, Ahsoka, you've read somewhere over time, like we're such a breath of fresh air because we are positive about the DC brand instead of crapping on it like most people.
That's why we're doing the show.
Yeah.
I mean, we all love DC as like we put it above everything else, like Marvel, whatever. Like this is our bread and butter.
I think it goes DC, God, family. I'm just kidding.
but like, okay, the thing is, even if you're,
I do have more pictures of Superbad in here than my family. So I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry, dude.
Even if you don't like something, you're still positive about it, and it's also the tone and how you speak about it. Because like Ahsoka was talking about how he didn't like something on his channel with like the steel, and he was never like angry or down. He was very positive, and his voice was upbeat. Whereas if you go to certain people's channels, I'm not going to name names, they go out in full rage. And that's not the type of reviewers that we want to be.
I can't get that angry about
our personality.
Really. You know, and
Yeah.
We're just not like that. If you want something that's really technical, then go to Anthony Customs, right? He tends to
Yeah.
be a lot more tough on figures, and he'll point out where the clavicles aren't right and where the rib cage is too. That's his thing, and he's very good at it, and he's been doing it for a long time, and he fills that niche quite wonderfully. That's not us. If you want somebody who is not going to bring you down during the day, because let's admit it, when you watch my videos, it's a small portion of your day.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bring you down. I don't want to make
It's
people.
entertainment.
Life is challenging enough as it is. You don't need some action figure reviewer shitting all over something and making you feel bad and releasing all the negative chemicals in your brains. Nor do you want Ahsoka or Rob doing the same thing with their videos and posts.
yeah, and at the end of the day, we're rooting for McFarlane to succeed with the DC brand. You know what I mean? That's why, like, even with that Steel review, it was painful for me to like be negative about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, not because they're sending me free shit. It's
Yeah.
just because I love DC figures. I want them to
Yeah.
all be
Yeah.
awesome.
And like
So yeah,
we do bring up things that could be improved upon. Not saying that we hate it. We just want it to be improved. Like I have spoken out many times about the ankles and how we should have had like
Yeah.
a plain buck. I
Yes.
brought it up to actually the
Yes.
people who actually work there when I was at Toy Fair about how
Yeah.
we should have a plain buck that they can use parts and stuff.
Yes.
You can only do so much, and then you get tired of bringing it up, and you don't want to be like
Yeah.
a broken record.
And it is
So-
what it is.
Yeah,
There's no sense in, freaking out about it or losing your peace
yeah.
or
Like-
losing your contentment over it.
Like Brad, we said, I think it was in the last or the previous before that, where the necks are too short on most
Yeah.
McFarlane figures, and just raising that's something that is like, hey, it would be great if you could just
Yep.
like bump it up one like little notch,
Yep. And we point
Or
that
like
out
the
in our
torso.
reviews.
Yeah. So
I point
is
out
what it is.
Batman's ankles every time. Every time
Yeah.
I review a Batman on that vampire buck, I point out how much those ankles are dysfunctional, and I wish that they were different and they were molded to look like the figure. I
yeah,
point
as
it out
much
every
as I
single time.
love that buck, I think it needs to be put to rest.
Yeah, or at the very least, revamped and improved. And I'd like to see them start using the Nightfall buck
Yes.
more
I
often.
agree.
That
Yeah.
was a great buck. That's like a perfect body buck
Yeah.
for Batman.
all right, guys. I wanted to move on to looking at the actual figures for the Crisis
Yeah.
Wave.
Yeah,
But
let's do that.
any final thoughts though, guys, on this topic before we move on?
No, I mean
No.
it's, yeah,
I
it
think
sucks.
I think
when
we
it's-
beat it up good. I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just ask if this is going to happen again. Let us know ahead of time instead
yeah.
of blindsiding us. That's all.
And I just want to point out, Fig Life Toy Hunts is correct. 9:44 p.m. He made a statement. $40 McFarlane and still no thigh swivels. I will agree with the whole thigh swivels thing. That is something that drives me a little bit nuts too. That's something that I always mention. I test the thighs during the articulation. I go, oh, it doesn't. I don't want it to be in the middle, just at the top where it connects.
Yeah.
I guess I'm further iterating that I do point out things that I wish were different about the figures. So
One
I
final thing
laugh
on
when they
this.
call us shills. I laugh. It's like I'm not a shill. I'm not a paid,
Uh.
and I have to work really hard to do the stuff, and I like doing it. I don't know.
I mean, listen,
Block
guys.
it, block and move on is the
Yeah.
Yeah, I delete, block. I guys, I'm very liberal with my delete and blocking. You look at me the wrong way. Delete.
I
block.
try not to be, but
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I will say, guys, I love the passion though. Even the negative passion, the positive passion. Like, it's just great. Social media can suck and bring you down, but also look at this community here of toy nerds talking about a price increase on action figures.
And we have
You know,
182 people in the
Which is
chat right
great.
now.
You know what I
So
mean? It's
thank you guys for showing up
we
and
appreciate
listening
you
to what
guys
we have to say.
watching and listening to us ramble. And McFarlane, they do listen. They do watch the show occasionally. I
Yeah.
think Todd sometimes smokes a cigar and watches the three of us. I'm just joking. That'd be great.
yeah.
But,
It's like a dimly lit room, and it's like it's got like a chair in the middle of the room and a television set. and it's like,
Oh my god.
Joe.
oh,
this
that'd be
show's cool.
amazing.
Uh,
Oh man, oh man. Sorry.
All
All right, guys. On to the actual figures themselves. We're going to talk about McFarlane Toy and new reveals in general.
Yeah.
And let me go open the window. Where'd it go? Ah, there it is. All right, guys. Before we get to, no, I think we talked about Batfleck, right?
No,
Oh,
no,
No,
that happened while we were on our
Yeah,
break.
no, we didn't talk about Batfleck.
so let's talk about a little Batfleck.
Yes,
Brad,
that's
lead us off, dude. Lead us off.
well. I feel like this is the Ben Affleck Batman that I think most of us probably wanted before we got the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to start off with that, and so far it looks good. I'm not sure if it's an actual shiny sheen to the Batman, something easily fixed with a matte spray, but got a cloth goods cape, which is nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't look to be wired at this point, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm really stoked about it because I've wanted a good basic Batfleck figure since the beginning. And we're on what, year 4? Is it year 4?
It might be year 5.
I don't know.
No. Really?
I think it might be. I think it's 2019 when they got the license.
But they didn't start putting things out until 2020, remember?
That's true. You're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, Brad.
And then it was like, I remember that. Bang. Things started to hit
Yeah.
right away in the new year. I was heading to GameStop.
That was
so
great.
yeah, we're in year 4 now, and we're finally getting this Batman. And I couldn't be more excited about it, to be honest.
Rob?
Yeah, I mean, this is my favorite movie suit of all
Yeah.
time.
Wow,
So, like,
really?
Yeah, I'm with him. I'm with Rob.
Oh, shit,
BVS.
okay,
Like,
okay.
I just, I got my Mezco finally,
Yeah.
the BVS Batman. So it's pretty sweet. Like,
Yeah.
this suit is the best. It looks like there's a black wash on it, like a slight black wash to help bring out some of the texture.
Yeah.
I do wish that the paint on the belt had more of a black on it. I don't mind the gold, but obviously there was black in the suit.
Mhm.
The head sculpt looks good from this angle. I like the cloth cape. I don't know what the proportions are exactly yet, but it looks good.
They look okay from here.
If anything, like you can throw if you don't like the head, you can throw like a custom head on. You shouldn't have to.
Yeah. Same thing with the cape.
Yeah. But from what I'm seeing here, this could be a runner-up for one of the best of the new year.
Bold
I mean,
statements.
if
probably
we
one of
got
the best Batmans in the way.
yeah, if we got Batman and Robin this last year,
Yeah.
let's hope that we get like Batman Forever, Batman Returns, Batman, and maybe BVS and some of these other ones.
Yeah.
And let's get this ship rolling because like I was one of the people that said I hate movie figures, and guess what?
That's right.
You were. What figures am I buying more than anything? Is movie figures. So like, we can all change. If I can change, you can change. We all can change.
Wow.
There's your Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
I think we should end the show now, man. It's not gonna get better than a Rocky impression.
I should have had an American
that's
flag.
The pinnacle.
And you take your shirt off, like whoa, hey.
All of a sudden he's like barrel chested, like groundskeeper Willie.
I will say that this is not my favorite suit. Keaton's suit is still my favorite suit.
No.
I'm sorry.
That's my second favorite.
Yeah,
that's
mine
still
too.
my favorite.
Mine too.
I wish this was darker. I know this is probably accurate, but I like a darker gray. I like almost black. So that's more of the design, though. I think the figure looks good.
Yeah.
I mean, you like the 90s Batman better, which is like the darker blacks.
Yep, I'm all about the black suit.
The darker grays too and stuff. Yeah, like I get it. I like this. I like the black and gray.
Yeah.
So and just I think for me, what might be hitting a miss on this is Ben Affleck's is it the deltoids or whatever?
Yeah.
Were just so huge, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like the figure is probably not going to have that. But like that's something that I don't know.
I got, and I think I know you do too, Rob.
I do. I haven't put it on yet.
No, well, I've got this one waiting because I'm gonna get.
That looked like your little joint container. I was like, "We can smoke a joint on the show."
You can put your weed
Here.
in.
Why don't you put him full screen? Oh no, there we go. Oh, wait, hold on.
So I got that.
Nope, wrong one.
Nope.
There
Third
you go.
time's a charm. Waiting.
Oh, that's a beautiful
the Muff
head.
Toys.
Yeah, Muff
the
Toys
Muff
does.
Toys.
And
Now,
they
did
also
you get the one that can the head is separate from the neck?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I did.
What does that go on, a Mezco or does that go on a McFarlane?
Yeah, it's meant for a mezco.
But we all know that Mezco heads are too bulbous for the body.
There was a guy, I forget his name. There was a guy that put that head on a McFarlane body.
Yes, it fits. No, it does.
Okay.
That's why I bought it.
I love that you said bulbous.
Mezco heads are 7-inch scale heads, usually on 6-inch scale bodies.
Okay.
All the time. Go look at your Mezco figures and you tell me that body is not too small for that head.
I'm afraid the only thing for me is that like I bought it exclusively for my Mezco figure, but the Mezco head looks really good. And
it's great.
I don't want to cut it. Like, so I kind of want to buy, I can't afford to buy another one. So I think what I might do is buy the knockoff version and then switch the head, switch the belt when they come out with that, and hopefully
I'm sorry, Brad, where did you get the head from? Those people are asking.
Rob, I got it from the same place as you. I got it from
Toyverse.
Yeah, I got it from the Toyverse, and they sell them there.
Do they have an Instagram page, the Toyverse, or is it...
I listen, I'm going to be honest. I live with ADHD, and sometimes I just forget things. Like I have a million things going on in my head.
Okay,
so let Rob will know. I forget.
Here it is. It's here. I'll just type it in the chat. It'll probably be easier.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's much better.
Meta. Sorry, guys. Verse.com. And it's not typing. Sorry. Now let's try it again. Toys.
Killing the momentum, Rob. Killing the momentum.
Meta.
Like, what are we doing?
Verse.com.
I feel like I'm at the DMV if I was in America. Jeez.
Now, if I want to buy a second one, it's going to be sold out because everyone's going to go there right now.
Yeah. Now, are you racing there right now at the same time?
No. Maybe.
All right, so let's get on to the crisis wave. First of all, guys, what are your thoughts on the pricing? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
We've already been through that for everyone who's late. We're not going through that.
Anyone who's late to the show, that was the first hour of the show was pretty much the pricing topic. So now we're just focused on the toys, the figures.
That looks like kind of like my dad did when like the figure does. Yeah, if you find the other picture where it's closer up of his head, where's that one? Because my dad, that kind of looks like my dad when I was a kid growing up.
I can see that. He does look like a dad. I mean, he's supposed to be older, and he doesn't have the white in his hair, right? That's one of the things that's missing a little bit.
If you gave that guy a mustache, like a biker mustache that went down beside his mouth, that's what my dad used to look like.
You know, let me go on to the McFarlane site. They had better pictures.
Yeah.
Now, I guess first of all, what do you guys think about the new? The new Buck.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, it's less. All the muscles are less defined on that figure by the looks of it. They're just a little bit less defined. Like he's a little bit less roidy looking. But I mean, I like a roidy looking soups. I use that word like loosely to be funny. But now here's something that those of you at home who did order this figure, that's a big S.
That's a big S.
That's a big S. That's the biggest S I've ever seen.
Oh, that's big S.
And it looks like it was sewn on there. And someone someone stitched the S on like by hand. It looks
very homemade.
It looks very homemade. Yeah, my mom made the suit for me. No, but okay, I want to point out this suit, that S, if we can get a close up. I believe it's just painted on.
Oh, it's a little 3D. It kind of looked raised. You're right, but I like the paint they used.
That means if it's just painted on and you want to do a custom to get a perfect classic soups, use a little bit of acetone on a Q-tip. No,
like a
cotton ball. Acetone on a cotton ball this time because you can gently go over it, and you can rub that S right off, being careful. And then you can take one of these bad boys or one from another Superman that you've dremeled out flat and pop it on the chest. And you've also got a classic soups.
Okay.
Boom. Just like that. So you can have old man soups and classic soups.
How are you feeling about the wired cape, boys?
Love it.
Yeah. We need to see more of it for sure. Yeah. The one thing that
bizarre material though.
I don't like about this, and this is the only nitpick, is the belt loops I feel are too small. It might be fine for this character, but for the actual Earth Prime Superman, I want to see thicker belt loops.
Looks like we'll be doing lots of trunk swaps, boys. Lots of Superman will be changing his undies.
I think it looks really nice. It's a nice buck. I gotta see it in person. I gotta feel it.
He's gonna be great alongside that other new Superman that I didn't get.
This one?
Yeah, that one. That's beautiful. I'll probably pose them together, to be honest, on the shelf.
Yeah, I do wish that there was more like white and gray in the temples, but I think his face kind of looks like Mark Ruffalo.
A little bit,
but I think it's like a solid sculpt. Yes, the yellow is way
Italian mobster,
way too big. But if anything, like I wish the cape was a little shorter.
Yeah, I like the length of the cape.
Yeah. I like mine Christopher Reeve style cape, like where it comes like just to the right
boots.
Yeah, like to the calves.
Yeah. Now I will point out that S. I don't have the picture for it, but now that I think about it, I actually remember an image where the S was that big on the back of his cape. It wasn't like that wasn't the norm, but I absolutely remember there being an image where it was really huge. Because I remember looking at the image in the comics going, ugh, why is it so big?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could have been what they were going for.
I like the boots, though. I think the boots are really solid.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those are great. Oh, yeah.
You know what? This gives me hope they're going to do Reeve.
Oh, yeah. I can see that on this.
I have a feeling they're going to do Reeve.
Well, because those boots are... Those boots are more like Christopher Reeve's boots, like the shape of them. I mean, the chevron on the top isn't exactly the same, but this body does give me hope that they'll try and make Reeve for sure.
What about young Mr. West?
Now, I'm just trying to see what body this is exactly on.
Well, it's on the look. Isn't that the Blue Beetle body, Buck?
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because like, for some reason,
let's go over here.
The boots, if you look at the boots, they look thicker on him than the Flash Buck.
Yeah, which means it might not. It might be the first teen Buck. This might be the first teen body Buck. But it to me that looks like.
If you look at the ridge of the boots, is that thick? And it could just be like the photography. Doesn't that seem thicker than the Flash boot?
Hold on, I've got the boots right here on the shelf, painted red. Ready to go for reverse flash. Can I see the ridge again? No, they're about the same.
Okay. They just look for some reason bigger. Now, Wally at this point, people have to remember, he was pretty much full grown because right after this, he became the actual Flash.
Yeah, he was like what?
Oh, that's a good point. 18
at the time.
Yeah.
When he joined the league, he was still a teenager, as far as I remember. Wasn't he?
Yeah, and the same thing goes with like the Nightwing.
Or he's like 20, maybe.
Nightwing Nightfall is he was full grown at that point, and like he's about the same size as Bruce, but he has to be bigger than Tim. Like Tim is obviously way too big.
Both.
But yeah, this doesn't bother me if he is like the Flash's height because he was full grown at this point. He wasn't. Now, what you could do is probably take this head and put it on the Wallace West body. Granted, it's not the same, but you could
mash parts together though.
Yeah,
like it's not my favorite design. I'll be honest with you guys. Like I like the Kid Flash, but just in general, it's like the design, the character, I guess, design is not my favorite.
I find myself wondering where I'm going to put him.
Well, you
know what I mean?
With the group.
I've already got a Wally West with the rest of my Titans.
No,
you know what? I'll put him. No, I got an 80s display that I'm working on.
See, I don't. I just mishmash all my figures together, like
me too.
Ahsoka does. So, like, if anything, it'll probably go with the rest of the Crisis Wave.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm like, okay, the villains go on the villain shelf and the good guys go on the good guy shelf. And if I'm going to put, usually if I'm going to put a character that's the same as, just a different iteration. So 2 Damians, I'll usually pick one to put on the shelf, like with my main, and I got to make another display with other ones.
Call me crazy, but I've actually been putting all the ones that have the Blue Beetle Buck on the same shelf together, and I think they look awesome.
I will call you crazy. What do you guys think about Psycho Pirates?
Can we get a closer up view?
Yeah, we can.
Can that be something that
Uh,
I want to see his body buck up close? Okay. Have we? I don't think we've seen that torso before. Have we? Have we seen that torso before? No, the upper torso, right there.
oh yeah.
The abdomen I've seen, right? We've seen that. The belt is new. Obviously, the cape and the head are new, but that torso, notice how the wrinkles go across and he doesn't have really defined pecs. I don't know if we've seen that before. That might be new.
Could it be the...
Oh, someone said Nightfall Batman chest.
Is it though?
Wait, look at the boots. What do the boots look like?
Well, the boots, the same old.
Yeah, that looks like...
But they don't have to use the same buck though, right? Like they do mix and match a little bit.
It's always amazing when people just point, like, 2 folks in the chat. Nightfall chest.
It could
You
be.
guys are great, man. Yeah.
I'm gonna look.
Please,
I'm gonna
please.
look. I'm gonna go and look.
I mean, I like the head sculpt's great. I like this a lot, actually. You know?
Okay. So Nightfall Batman has a very specific. Can we get another angle? Nightfall Batman has a very specific wrinkle across the chest. It's a V-shaped wrinkle to the one side. Can we? Is there anything else? What about the picture that would have him, just torso? In that, if you were looking, yeah. Okay, so there should be just a torso picture of him. They keep moving over.
Oh, sorry.
They don't have it there. Usually they've got all around, and they have just like a torso action.
You know,
picture.
I'm on the shop. Let me go to the site.
The site might have it all. If there's a wrinkle in the chest that goes over like that across the pecs, then it's the same one. If there's not, then it's not. Then it's a new tool. That's the answer. Look at us, like, totally nerding out.
Where is the? There we go. No, there you go. Look at that.
All right. Okay, I have thoughts about the monitor, but I don't want to go there yet.
Oh, look at this fancy. Oh.
Yeah, this is where I get my drag and drops from. Okay, so let's. I am really wondering. Torso. There we go. All right. Now let's make that bigger. Yeah, I think that might actually be the same. Yeah. See in the middle there, it kind of goes. Burp, burp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what Batman. Okay, so it is the Batman chest. All right, so it's a lot of reuse, yes, but I was just curious. Look at those faces close up.
An ultramagnetic lion. I think there is a platinum chase to this.
Yeah, there will be.
You might get him without his
mask on there.
Mask.
I'm happy to have him with the mask. Actually, though, I would never display him without the mask. I have one that's not wearing his mask, and that's because he dropped it and I lost it a long time ago.
Very nice, though. Beautiful.
Lovely cape.
Very nice cape.
Yeah, those words came out of my mouth. Lovely cape.
Oh, you'll hound. All right, on to the Spectre.
Okay. I got thoughts about the next two. I got thoughts.
Go for it, my friend.
Well, the Spectre himself. Can we go to the torso? So
what is that white stuff behind on the cape?
I saw that too.
No jizz jokes. I just said it out loud.
I wasn't even going there. I'm like, was this a prototype?
No, that's supposed to be stars, like the cosmic.
Wait, what?
Cosmic-y stuff behind him in his cape. You know how like he's like room when his cape goes out, and then you have like, you've never seen that?
I know I have, and I'm like, that's what that effect's supposed to be?
Yeah, that's what that is. That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I'm not saying that they did a good job of it. I'm just saying that's what it is.
It looks like it was attached and then like got ripped off. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, there's going to be a glow in the dark chase of this guy or a black light.
Got to be.
You know there will. The only
That
thing,
would be
okay, my
cool.
thoughts are, I do like it. This is the Martian Manhunter buck. So we
I
might be a
like the
bit short.
figure. I might have to Sharpie those little white specks now.
So, Brad, how do you
I
feel
don't-
about the swoopy cape to the side?
You
Yeah, how do
know
you feel-
exactly what I think
How
about.
do you feel about that swoopiness, Bradley?
I think that the cape is something that I would love to change, and I have no idea how.
What don't you like about this cape? It's very Spectre-esque, right? It's
Well, look, okay,
flowing,
so it doesn't make any
you know.
sense. That's my only issue.
Oh.
It doesn't make any sense. It goes off to the side. Look how short it is. Like, I understand what Todd's team is trying to do here. I mean, I get it. I just think it
I
doesn't
see
make
what you
any
mean.
sense. I would have rather had a more
Yeah.
static cape with it.
I kind
For
of like
sure.
this a lot. It's like flowy.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Look at how short that is off to the side.
I look at it less like a cape and more like a part of his being.
Like
Yeah.
like Spawn.
Yeah, like Spawn. He likes Spectre. It's not really a cape, you know. But I get your
Well,
criticism though. I see what you mean. Like it doesn't
could
make
be
sense.
better.
Like if this was a real cape, it would be all misshapen.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I get you, buddy. I get you.
How do you feel about the black on the face for the shadow?
I don't know. I'm gonna wait till I get it in hand. It might look good.
How did Mattel do it?
It's just white. I can grab it right now. I have it right here.
I was grabbing something off the shelf too. I'm sorry. So it's still going to be hard to beat this guy for me. This is the DC Direct.
Hold
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Um,
It's
look at
very
that.
stoic though.
So
very
we-
stoic.
Yeah, we both don't.
They
have
don't
black.
they don't put the gray or the shading on it.
No,
Mattel
yeah,
put-
even on this one,
good.
there's none.
Mattel put Mattel put out like a butt hair of shading, and that's it. Not much.
He's completely naked in there, by the way. In this figure.
Is he? Can you see his doodle bop?
Leave that to imagination, Brad.
Yeah,
Sorry. What's wrong with me? But no, I love the Spectre. It's cool that we're getting. This is the only one that's sold out so far, guys. So you can actually see the popularity of the Spectre.
I think the Spectre is one that the fans were demanding for quite a while.
Yeah.
I saw him like pop up a lot on message boards and in comment sections and stuff like that. I mean, why not? The Spectre is such a powerful character. He's like pivotal to the DC universe in some ways.
By the way, guys,
Yeah.
we have 202 viewers. This is the most we've ever had, I think. So
Wow.
thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thanks for
We hit
thanks for
over
watching.
200. That's awesome. Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I'm still trying to order.
Oh, Rob, you little hound. All right, Bradley, take us away on is the anti-monitor or the monitor?
The monitor.
The
The
monitor.
monitor is the big
We
bad.
have the
That's
we
right.
have the
Yeah.
anti-monitor.
Yeah, so now we'll have both. It's not exact to what
Yeah.
it's supposed to be. This is one of those cases where Todd's team or Todd or someone has decided to make design choices that, you know, they make it look different. I feel like this may actually look more like one of the current iterations of the monitor. I haven't
Yeah.
deep dove into it enough, but when I do eventually review the figure, that's what I'll point out. You know, I'll find out where this design actually comes from. The only thing is, I would have rather the body been blue
Oh,
and not
interesting.
black. Yeah, now the body could have been black. It might have been black, and the blue was just like highlights, like they do in comics. Like Superman's hair is not blue,
Right.
but they
You
use
got
blue
the
to show the highlights with the light shining off it. So maybe the suit always technically was black, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was always a dark blue.
And it's so regal. I love the cape.
I just want to point out for those who are still looking for the Muff Toys part, you can find it on AliExpress as well.
What?
Anyway, yeah.
The head sculpt though, definitely
Did you
not.
trust that?
It was
I don't know.
definitely they took some liberties with the head sculpt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's kind of big brained. But he has kind of looked like that in different
Mhm.
like past,
He does.
like not when Crisis on Infinite Earths happened. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they've chose a different, like a later iteration of this character. I don't.
Is that
The,
really-
the cape is weird though. Isn't that a weird cape? That weird texture.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I think for me, I love this.
Did you just eat something, by the way? Did
Yeah,
you?
I have ice cubes in my mouth. Sorry.
Oh,
What? Why?
sorry. I'm not gonna call you out like that.
Why do you have ice cubes in your
What
mouth?
you
Because
got
I
in your
was
mouth there?
drinking my tea and like one of the ice cubes, small ice cubes, got it. in
Do you
my
gotta have ice in all your drinks, Rob?
I do. I'm one of
You-
those guys.
You guys are all drinking bevies, and I haven't touched a beer since the beginning of January. I'm on dry January because they found out I was diabetic, pretty much.
Well, that's
I-
unfortunate.
I like to see texture in the McFarlane stuff. With
I do
us
too.
getting the Blue Beetle buck, I like the spandex look. Don't get me wrong, and I want them to continue to have a plain buck like that.
Yeah.
But I do like seeing stuff like this.
50 Shades of Rob.
And Al enters the chat. There's
Always leaves
Al.
to Al.
He's the guy who did our beautiful intro and outro.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Al. Al's the best.
Yeah. Ultramagnetic Lion said instead of Kid Flash, we should have got a Harbinger.
Oh, Harbinger
That-
would have been so
There
good.
is
Yeah.
a DC Direct Harbinger that's
Yeah.
still probably pretty affordable.
Yeah,
and,
she's small though. I have her. She's
Well, maybe they'll get to there's like way
Possibly.
off and like
Possibly.
we need to like Mira and Black Canary first.
Oh yes.
we need and a comic Green Arrow. We don't want to
Okay,
fall down that.
this
hole.
is what I'd like to see
Oh,
if we're
here
giving
comes.
predictions.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to see the Justice League that they had when they fought Doomsday. So that includes
Yes.
Fire and Ice.
Bloodwind.
Yeah, like all
Yeah.
of them. Like, let's get that team going, then break out.
Yeah. The only Bloodwind figure is like it was part of the Crisis Infinite Heroes. I have that. And it's
Yeah.
like I wish it was bigger.
I know.
Yeah, we all wish
Oh,
it was bigger.
That's what you
Look at you, Rob. You little hounds, man. He's got some good jokes tonight, buddy.
Yeah.
No,
You know
I'm
what?
happy with this monitor. I think it's I like the coloring. I think this is an
Well, for
ace
$39.99, we better be happy with this monitor.
I think
You know
it looks
what I'm saying?
cool.
Sorry.
I think it looks cool. I just my only thing is I wish that the cape was not textured.
I don't mind it.
I
The
love
rest
this
of it, I'm
cape,
fine.
dude.
and it's
It's
and
a
it's
little great
neutral
here, but-
enough.
Look at that. Look at that texture.
Yeah,
I know it's little triangles or whatever.
It's like
it's awesome.
It looks like hemp
maybe a
Like-
little bit.
or like no that, but it looks like the throw, like a pink woven throw blanket for your couch.
Oh, that's cozy. I don't see the problem with that.
Yeah, he gets to go around in his blankie. Maybe it's his blankie from when he was a kid.
You
He
know,
just like
I'm sorry. I just keep thinking about the monitor from
Oh
the
god,
CW.
that was
like,
horrible.
I liked a lot of it, man. I'm sorry.
the
It was
Care Bear
cheesy.
stare.
It was terrible. I know, but it was fun. And then what Oliver
Ugh.
Queen kind of becomes like,
Yeah, no.
You know, that was bad.
How Jordan should become the Spectre.
Yeah.
did you say Care Bear stare?
Yes,
there?
the
Did I
Care
hear
Bear
that?
stare. They did the Care Bear stare. They were like,
Did they really?
yes. That's how they defeated the Anti-Monitor. They
A
all
little bit,
gave
a
the
little bit.
like the hope. They were projecting their hope and the Care. They were doing the Care
Yeah, you
Bear
got a good
stare.
memory, bro. I totally like just blocked it out.
My
Actually
mom
liked
always
it-
said if I can't say something nasty, don't say
It was-
nothing at all.
The best part of that, though, Rob, is
Yeah,
when John Wesley's ship goes out as a Flash.
yeah,
Like that was amazing.
that was
Like
cool.
when they flash back to his TV
And-
show.
Is
like-
that when the shit, what's his name? The dude from the Flash movie came back and
Ezra
met-
Miller.
Yes, Ezra.
Yeah, he was in there too. Yeah.
Yeah, like my brain just took out his
Sorry
name.
about
Yeah, like that moment was cool too.
That was cool. There's
Yeah.
some good little moments. I mean, overall, yeah.
I
right.
I never saw it, but the Superman versus Superman was fun. I believe that was in the second one, wasn't it? Was that in the second one?
Yeah. That was in. It was the Elseworld special, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad, you got to watch the one with John Wesley Shipp, the TV show when he. It's great. It's like a
Well,
2-minute
I
clip.
saw the images. I saw the images of it, but
Okay.
I just never watched. The thing is, I didn't have time. That's the main reason why I fell off and didn't have time. I was down here all the time.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, guys, a few more things to cover. We have some new, well, kind of new, Batman: The New Adventures action figures
Yeah, I
via
have 'em.
DC Direct.
I have them back over there.
No, these
Not
ones.
not these. No,
These ones. I have all of these from
I
DC
don't have Killer
Direct.
Croc.
What do you guys? How do you feel about this wave?
They're probably better than what originally came out because I can
Yeah,
look
the
at that.
plastic.
Yeah, because the plastic on I had that exact Batman
Yeah.
and mine, both the ankles broke off. Both
Yep.
the feet broke off. And I was
I-
like, well, never buying those again.
I had the original with the pegs in the hips, and then I
Yeah.
bought the second one without the pegs in the hips.
Yeah.
The originals are like a matte finish, which I prefer,
Yeah.
but they
that's
do
true.
become brittle, whereas these are shiny, but they seem more durable. So
Well,
it's
it's
like
kid-
it's whatever.
It's kid grade plastic. So if
Yeah.
they're going to sell it in the toy aisles, it has to be made out of a
Yeah.
different plastic.
Now,
So,
I believe this Batman came with 2 capes originally.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
one was
Yeah.
kind of,
Which one am I showing? This I think it's this one. This cape is the one that I'm displaying him. I might pick this one up just to have as like because it's my favorite out of
Yeah.
like the whole series.
I love this artwork. I remember when this came out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It was great.
Yeah.
There's a new
I don't know if
Batman picture.
I don't know if I'll buy everything, especially like since Two-Face actually still has those, because he was like the first or second figure to come out, and he still has those pins in his hips.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but mine seems to lean.
Oh yeah.
Like his one leg is shorter than the other, so it might be fixed
Yeah.
here. It might not. I don't
that
know.
sucks. I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Some people had to.
Yeah,
head out
I'm just going to, you know what? I'm just, while we're chatting, I'm going to pre-order that Batman right now. It's just the Batman that I want.
Yeah. The original one came with like a Tommy gun or something, which I liked.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I think I
that's
did.
true.
I
Now
have
it's
him
like,
Yeah, he's
I
got a
have him
briefcase.
displayed. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a travel bag.
Well, no, he did
no
come
guns
with that.
allowed with the toys. No guns allowed with any of the toys.
But yeah, they're dope figures, and like I might pick up stuff that I didn't have, but I do have quite a lot,
And it's great for like folks who couldn't pick these up
or
originally.
weren't around. Like,
Yeah, it's a great to
or weren't collecting
reintroduce them.
then.
And I'm glad they're not cell shaded this time.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of cell shading.
yeah.
And the thing is that if these are just if these sell well, which I feel like they probably will, that means we will get other characters. So that means another Superman's coming. So someone like me is like,
Ooh,
ha!
yeah,
We got
I
another
would buy
Superman.
that.
Oh yeah, that and Batman Beyond they need to do.
yeah. I
Yeah,
have
so
that
expensive.
back there. I just always wanted them to continue the Superman line with like having Darkseid and
Yeah.
having like
Orion, like
Yeah.
all
We got-
everyone.
But we got Superman and Lois in the 2-pack, and that was it.
yeah, or
Great
even
2-pack, but
that Green Lantern, which was Kyle, even though it didn't look
Yeah.
like Kyle. And then that Aquaman was like the original Aquaman with like the
Yes.
orange and green.
yeah.
He's great.
If-
I love
yeah,
that his personality in that show.
Yeah, I
Even
wanted.
the Flash was great.
That's what I would love. Oh yeah,
But
All right,
Nightwing is in
guys.
wave 2.
Oh
yeah, for sure.
What is this? What is some
And
shit?
Robin.
Well, guys, I think that's
That's it.
about it. Yeah, I think we can. One last thing. We did have someone's birthday. The Artist Shark. Artist Shark,
Oh.
what's your real name? So we can sing you happy birthday if you don't mind saying. If you're still around, Artist Shark, we will sing you happy birthday. And Brad, can you bring out the guitar? Would you mind?
You-
Would you do?
Do you
Cool.
do you would you want to hear?
Do we have any last questions from the chat?
Yeah, guys. Any last questions, please, please? Artist Shark, where are you?
I'm sitting on my headphone.
There he is. There he is. Do you want us to sing it to Artist Shark? Do you want to give us your first name or whatever you prefer, my friend? And it's pretty random that we're doing the show again on his birthday. You know.
Any of you got Mafex Ivy? I did not get Ivy. I think Brad might have.
All right.
Pardon?
Did you get Mafex Ivy?
Yeah, I did.
Sharky is fine. Do you know
Alright,
that there
Sharky.
are 2 platinum editions in the monitor wave? I
So
don't know if I knew.
We kind of do, but I think we've heard some rumors about a thing. Now, are you going to do the Batman 66 theme?
Sure.
Happy birthday? How did we do that?
I think we sang happy birthday, didn't we? Or we just played it for his birthday?
We'll sing happy birthday and then Then we can tail
Okay.
off into the Batman. So, yeah, all right.
Sure.
All right, guys, let's go. Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
Sharky.
Happy
Happy
birthday
to
to Sharky.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Happy
dear
birthday.
Sharky.
President Sharky.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
Beautiful. All right, guys. I don't think it's gonna get any better than that. Great show tonight, guys. Remember, all our opinions are just that. They're just opinions. Always be respectful of other people's opinions. That's all. That's all we can do, guys. And it was a pleasure. Thanks for everyone for watching. And we will see you probably in 2 weeks.
I hope
Maybe.
so.
Yeah, about 2
Hopefully.
weeks.
About
We're
2 weeks.
pretty good at doing it.
I
Man,
think
we've
so.
done this a lot.
Oh, and watch out for a special DC multiverse special that Brad's going to upload to his YouTube channel. It's pre-recorded, but
I can upload that. Yes, soon. Very, very soon.
Yeah, upload it soon. It's a fun video we did. So, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate your time, and take care. I'll let you do the outro.